Hello everyone, how are you? So today we have the Guardians of Harmony, and this is almost the last family that I will share here in YouTube. These families of guardians related to the tribes that we're gonna work in Egypt, because I'm almost there. We are almost there, and all these videos are part of a preparation for this Egypt trip that have the intention to return home. And actually, it's also the Earth Star Seed Awakening, but sometimes people really get lost in the concepts, and I realized that this trip it's really about this returning home. And it's funny because the guardians of today, with all this harmony, they invite us to really look into all the aspects that are not finding harmony. Because sometimes we think that harmony is to have everything right, everything needs to be perfect and beautiful and happy. But if everything it's really like with that perfection, how can we integrate the imperfection? If everything needs to be symmetric, how can we integrate what is not symmetric? If I need to be happy all the time, what I can do with all my sadness? No? So one of the things that start to arrive with these guardians, it's this very, very, very famous book, Bhagavad Gita. I'm so sorry about my pronunciation, but it's really the way that I'm able to say this name. And if you don't know this story, basically it's the talk between a prince and Krishna. And all this talk happened in the middle of a battle. It's like if they create a break in time, and they are just observing everything that is happening. And what is happening, it's the same family, it's in the battle, and basically they are fighting each other. And why? Because all this battle represents the inner fight that happened every time that we try to reject an aspect of ourselves. And for me, it's really important, and I really like to do this trip to our childhood, because sometimes it's where all these beliefs start to appear. We start to build a world where we start to perceive that something is good, something is bad, something I like, something I don't like, is something that I need, and this I don't need, this I want, this I don't. So all these questions that are very, very basic start to appear in our childhood. So going to our childhood, sometimes we have the chance to really readjust all these beliefs, because sometimes we start to create them to survive, but also to define us as human beings or as ourself. What happens if we really believe that we are just that? We are creating a rejection of the different aspects of us that are always in movement. So we start to feel different things. Maybe even we want to try a different food, or to try a different type of life. But inside of us, we create these kind of definitions that we are this. So we don't allow to grow, or we don't allow to explore different worlds, and also to dance with different possibilities. Because even the way that we are being raised, even through the school system, it's basically to choose what we want to be, and normally it's like you need to be one thing. You need to choose one thing. You need to choose one specific thing to study. So it's very hard, because especially if you still have memories that you are part of the everything, that inside of this body there's a spirit that it's multidimensional, that have a lot of passions, and it's here to explore and to live life in a very specific way. And maybe for some people it's more in an inner world, for others it's more outside. It's always different for each person, but we are all being raised more or less the same way through schools. So sometimes it's really confused, and if you still have memories that you are part of everything, it's really a challenge, all these conditions, because these conditions start to block you to return to the source. And basically this is also part of the intention of this trip. It's really return to that place where you start to unfold all these beliefs or all these limitations that you create in part to protect yourself, to feel safe, to feel that you are something. But if you are everything, why to be something? No? You are special. You are really, really special. And in all this path and in all the soul dimension, it's very funny because there's two elements. One, it's the moon, and the other, it's the sun. And the moon will bring you all the emotions. It will bring you all the connection with your heart. It will bring you all the feelings, all the connections through the heart. And the solar energy will expand you. It's like more I am. And the other, it's more what I need. And between these two forces, sometimes what I am and what I want to express, what I want to put outside, don't have space, because the other one have the polarity, have the contraction. It's to go inside of you, to really rebuild your inner world, so you can express this inner world to the outside. What happened when we really don't accept everything that is happening inside? This light that show up and outside, sometimes it's a little bit distorted, or maybe people really don't get you because inside it's something happening, but the bridge or even the connection between these two worlds, it's not finished. So I want to express something from the inside, but because I don't accept everything that is in my inside world, I'm not able to show this outside. So I can have the perception that the others really don't understand me, or there's no space in the world for me, or no one listens to me, or no one sees me as I am. But this is like blaming others when the confusion is really inside, when the bridge needs to be rebuilt or reconnect from the inside. Also, this can have you the feeling, if you don't blame others, that is something wrong with you. That's something that you maybe need to study, or maybe you need to accomplish, so you can really be the everything. And actually this is a game of forces. This is like a game where you need to embrace all your moon, your lunar mood, and your solar mood. Okay? So if you want to just shine as sun, and you don't want to really embrace and take care of your emotions, you will reject this part. So a part of you, it's fighting, because part of the sun is actually trying to say, don't, there's no room for you here, so shut up, there's no room, be quiet. So everything that this sun thinks that is showing, it's not, it's just an illusion. And the same the other. It's like if this one have too much power, this sun is not able to really show up. So when both of them are in balance, and it's funny because today I returned home because I was in a friend's house, and I returned, and I have this thing with me already for some years that is exactly this balance between the feminine and the masculine energy, the father and the mother, but also the sun and the moon. So when we really find this balance to be night and day, and to really dance with all these energies, we start to create the movement, the rhythm, and we can really be this home where it's light, but it's also a nice and quiet space to really sleep. So we start to dance and to use these forces that sometimes we see as polarities, and we start to understand how to work with them and how to use them as something good for us. So when we start to dance, maybe we really don't know the steps or the time of the dance, but we start to figure out, and we start to also find our way to do that movement and that balance, no? Because there are people that maybe need to be more active during the night, and others it's the opposite. So you need to find your way. There's no universal way. There's a million ways to really be, and to explore that you really need to play with the reality. But if you are still attached to this very childhood belief that you need to be the good one, maybe you get lost a little bit. But life have this wisdom and will always take care of you and everyone. So we'll give you experience where we can have the chance to really change, transform, and see, oh, there's more world, there's more possibilities than the ones that I'm allowing myself to really explore. So this is the huge invitation of these guardians, and I think for today it's really everything. These guardians also made me realize how important it is to be flexible, and with all the preparations to Egypt, it's like I didn't have the chance to really do the video in the day of the connection, and I feel that more than just talk or share information here, it's really important to bring also other things, especially for the group. But I think the essential it's here, and yeah, that's it. Well, the next video and the last video, because these families, we are working with the 12 energies, the 12 families, houses also of the being, will be already in Egypt. So see you in the next and last video of these families, and maybe I also see you in Egypt. So take care, bye.